Hello chaps! Today I'm going to be showing you around just a few of the basics of Unity 3D, which is the game engine that I use. So when you open it up, it should look something like this. But I prefer different layouts, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to 2x3. Okay, so here we have a hierarchy, which is what is actually in the game right now. We have the project, which are all the assets that you can add to the game. And you can import new assets. So let's start out by creating terrain. You just do that by going up to terrain, create terrain. Now what you're going to get is this big square that's just kind of blank. So first thing we should do is paint a texture. So you select the terrain, and then you'll see all these different tabs here. You want to click the paintbrush, and then edit textures, and then you want to add a texture, and then you click on that little circle there, and then it brings up all the textures that you have in your project, which is this window right here. This is the textures. So I'm going to select this grass texture. Once you add it, it'll cover all the terrain with that. Now since it's a little dark, a little hard to see, let's add a light. So I'm going to go up to Game Object, Create Other, and Directional Light. And then I'm going to drag that up using the Movement tool, and then rotate it using the Rotate tool. That's a bit better. Now we gotta have some way to move around our environment and interact with objects. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to look up first person controller, and then just drag that into the scene, and that'll add it to the hierarchy, as you can see over here. Just going to drag it up a little bit. So now I'm going to select maximize play. When we play the game, we just get this first person controller with a bunch of terrain and pretty much no sky, just big blue nothingness, which is cool. It's a good start. But we want to make it a bit more interesting, and one of the ways we can do that is by adding a skybox. Now you can click File. No, you don't want to click File. You want to click Edit. Go down to Render Settings, and select the skybox material. So there's all these different materials, and then some should say skybox. So I'm gonna look up skybox, and let's do a nice sunny one. This one. No, that one's weird. That didn't have the images placed properly. This one should be. There we go. So now when we play our game, we've got this really big open flat field with. It's a pretty nice day out. Okay. But we want to make it just a bit more interesting. So let's make the terrain a little bit bumpy. So it brings up the tabs again. You want to select the raise and lower the terrain height tab, and then you just pretty much paint and do whatever you want. Now if you get a hill going that's too high and you don't like it, you can just press shift and click, and voila. So let's create some hills around our controller here. And voila, we've got some hills of grass. Now, hills aren't really realistically all grass, so let's add a new texture by once again selecting terrain, going to the paintbrush tab, and selecting edit textures, add texture, click that little circle, and scroll down to the texture you want. I'm going to choose a stone texture. Oh, let me find it a second. Where are you? Oh, there. Right at the top. Okay, add. And then you select that and just paint it on. And you can select different brush sizes. So you can do that. Then we can add texture, none. And then going to we'll add a sand texture. Sorry, my brain stopped working there for a second. Select add, select texture, and just paint it on. So that's the basics of using the game engine. However, what if you want to add something into your game, like a tree or a new texture? That's fairly easy. You just open up your browser, and the one that I use is TurboSquid. So I'll just go there, and they have models that you can pay for, but they also have free models. So let's add a tree. Load. Okay, then if you sort them by price, which you can do right there, you get the free ones first and the more expensive ones later. So the file type I usually use for Unity that I find that works the best is Autodesk FBX. So I'm going to try and find a tree here that's in the FBX format. Here's one. Kind of looks like the white tree from Lord of the Rings. So you just click download, and then select tree.fbx. It will download it, and then you can drag it from your downloads folder on your computer or from your browser like I'm doing here. And then you just drag it into the project view, and it'll load while it imports the asset. And then, let's see, what was the file name again? Tree. Okay. And then you just look up tree, and there's tree. So as you can see, you zoom in by pressing F. It's really small right now, so you can just use the resize button and drag away. Now we're going to have it ridiculously huge. And we'll put some dirt at the base of that. Oh my. Looks like the guy didn't put texture with it. Now you can do that by selecting the object, and then down here there will be a little texture box, and it'll say none, texture 2D. And you can select that by going to whatever texture you want. Let's find a woody texture. I think I have one in here. Oh, where are you? We'll just do this one. And now it has some bark on it. Oh, and moving the camera to zoom in and out is pretty straightforward. You use the scroll wheel. To pan, you use the middle scroll wheel, or the middle mouse button, or the scroll wheel. And to look around, you use the right mouse button. And to select objects, you drag with left mouse button. Okay, so once again, select terrain, select paintbrush, and let's paint a little bit of sand around it. There we go. Now when we play our game, oh, I think it's over here. Okay, so since our thing is going really slowly, I will use it to teach another lesson. Now, when you select an object, there will be different scripts on the side, depending on if you have added scripts to it or not. Now, in order for this first-person controller to work, it has to have a script attached to it. So, we will adjust the max forward speed on this character motor script, and we'll bump that up to 20. Move down to the next one, 20. Okay, so now I've got it going a little bit faster. It's probably going to be really fast now. Oh yeah, much better. Of course, now it's kind of laggy. And the tree isn't over there, I forgot. And then here we find our huge tree, which looks pretty cool. So, and then once we want to stop it, we can either select that play button or press